Kevin here once again with my 1-2-3 cents, and gonna show you an interview that I had recently with Mickie James, who of course is the TNA Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion right now. She traveled here to Southern Illinois from Nashville, Tennessee on Friday night to basically help out with a fundraiser for flood relief. Southern Illinois, for the folks who do live in this area and know, has recently been overwhelmed with flooding. Several counties, hundreds of homes and families, maybe even thousands have been displaced and left with no place to go. So Mickie came up and participated in the Catskin Days fun wrestling event with USA Championship Wrestling in Carrier Mills, Illinois. And she was here to be the guest host and also help raise some money. So she posed for pictures in the ring with folks, and they collected $530 that went into the flood relief fund for the American Red Cross. So I salute Mickie James for giving back to this community, something that she has no really connection with. She's not from Southern Illinois. She just took the time out of her busy schedule of songwriting and wrestling and drove up here and lent her hand to this good cause. So I appreciate that. And she also spent a few minutes with me after the show, and we did a quick interview. And I asked her just a few quick questions. I didn't want to hog up too much of her time, so take a look and let me know what you think. And be sure to hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching my 1-2-3 cents. I would imagine life as a wrestler is tough enough, but now you're adding singer-songwriter to that mix too.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting that I think that both of the industries run very parallel in the fact that, of course, it is the entertainment industry, and whether you're performing on stage or performing in a ring, you're still performing this larger than life yet human character or person that you are, and it's in front of millions of fans or thousands of fans or even hundreds of fans depending on any given night, I guess. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun because the music is kind of like a new journey. Like where I'm at now in the music side of it is where I was 10 years ago in the wrestling side of it, where I was building my name and building my fan base and building people that believed in me and stood beside me and stood behind me. And obviously everybody that has been a fan of mine or who, believes in me on the wrestling side, they obviously support me, which I'm very grateful for. But I'm also finding that, I'm finding new people that probably, whether they were wrestling fans or not, and which there aren't a lot, there are people that are big country music fans and not, wrestling fans. So I'm also finding that they're appreciating my wrestling style just because they appreciate the music. So it's cool how they're playing together, and it's just a lot of fun.
I will say I was fortunate enough to be in the audience at WrestleMania 22 when you beat Trish.
I know, I see your shirt there.
When you beat Trish for the women's championship.
Yeah.
It was actually the best women's match I've ever seen in person.
Wow, thank you.
What were some of your highlights, or what are some of your highlights of your career? What would you pick as your kind of cherry on the top, so to speak?
Wow. There's been so many. Like it's definitely been one of those things. Is whenever you set a goal for yourself, and if you reach that goal, then you're constantly raising the bar for yourself, and that was definitely one of those monumental moments in my life. That when I got that call, that WWE had wanted to hire me, 3 years prior to that, then I was. Excuse me, my dog is going crazy. When I got that call.
You can pick him up or hold him if you want to.
Come here. He might take over. He's a bit of a camera hawk. When I got that call 3 years prior that I'd gotten the job with WWE, that was one of my goals that I had reached for it and struggled for so long, and then it took 3 years to, 2.5, 3 years almost to get to the television screen after that. And I look at it as a blessing in disguise in the sense of obviously you get flustered or whatever if you feel like you're spinning your wheels and just waiting for your chance to show and to shine. But it was one of those storylines that I was really fortunate enough to get something like that because I shined at the best that I absolutely could. And by the time the culmination came at WrestleMania 22, we had developed our characters and the storyline for 6 months and turned it into this masterpiece that by the time WrestleMania came, like there's the Trish fans and the Mickie fans, and it was just, it's crazy. I still get chill bumps to this day when I think about it, the way the crowd was split, and neither one of us expected that. I don't think anybody expected that. Hi. That, you know, the crowd would cheer for me. Like I was supposed to get booed out of the building. That was you know, what was supposed to happen. And I think that was just one of those things, is that they actually, I think they knew that that I had worked hard to get to where I was. It wasn't one of those overnight things. It wasn't like I worked and I trained, and it was definitely a struggle to get to where I had gotten in that point, and that my in-ring work kind of, especially from the hardcore wrestling fans that appreciate wrestling and hard work, they appreciated who I was and what I stood for and what I had done to that point. So it was kind of cool in that aspect. And obviously my mom was sitting front row, and you know, at that point, like on that journey of just making it as a star, and I think that anybody who's ever made it in any industry, whether it's acting, singing, modeling, when you reach that point where you know that you've made it, it's just, it was the culmination of like everything that you had worked for all those years. And when I got back to the back, I just dropped to my knees and I just started crying, and I thanked God. And my mom was front row, and you know, she watched me wrestle in front of 100 people, and you know, at the Nashville Fairgrounds, and then you know, to see me in front of thousands and you know, tens of thousands of people at WrestleMania after that's what I'd been working for so long, from going from, you know, driving my car 20 hours on a hope and a prayer to something like that. It was very rewarding and very humbling and very, you know, just overtaking, I guess.
Well, you are certainly one of the best.
Thank you. I'm still trying.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.